So tonight is October 8th, and Dharma Talk is in lieu of last week. I think the Dharma Talk is just taking a reminder to take stock in what you do have and in what you do have going well, taking stock and a reminder to see who is by your side and the progress we've all made. And instead of focusing on where we lack or where we want growth or what's not working or what happened in our past, that's not what we wanted it to be, or that sense of I feel like there's more I should be doing, or I'm not sure if I'm on the right path, or all those thoughts, kind of put them aside and on a shelf and really take stock in who and what is going well and right in your life. And we have so much more of that than we have of the negative. So all of us in here have more of that than we do, you know, of the not so favorite stuff. So that's what this week was for me. And so I'm passing that along for all of you. Yeah, I think that's a good short and sweet Dharma talk. I feel like we haven't met in like a month. So it's only 1 week, but it just feels like, well, it's 2 weeks, I guess, technically, but it just feels like a really long time. So I'm glad to see faces and I feel your energy, even if you're not showing your face. I'm scanning all of you and like just really focusing in on the energy that you all have brought over the years and continue to do so. So on that note, we shall see what tonight will bring. Maybe my next book is going to be called On That Note. Actually, I think my next book is what? Practical Humanity, right? That's the word that came out of my assessment of ETA is that it's practical humanity. It's a practical way of being human. So on that note, you can go ahead and turn off your lights and get yourselves comfortable. I'm looking forward to your time together here. And when you're ready and settled, you can go ahead and close your eyes. And as you close your eyes, just take a nice deep breath. And get yourselves settled into your space in this moment. Every breath that you exhale, relax your body. Notice where there's any tension in your body and let that part of your body fall or drop or rest. And start to land in the beingness of the right now. And let your eyelids fall heavy. Relax your tongue. Relax your cheeks and your jaw. Let your shoulders fall away from your ears. Relax your abdomen. Relax your pelvis, your hips. Send relaxation down both legs. And imagine at the very bottom of your feet, there are small openings that allow for anything that no longer serves you to find its way down to the bottom of your feet. And imagine that the earth is pulling out all the toxic residue, toxins, toxic thoughts, any sludge in your body, whether it's physical, mental, emotional, or spiritual. Imagine that there's these openings in your feet that are pulling it out. And at the same time, activate your imagination and visualize the faucet of universal life force energy has opened high above your head. And visualize yourself turning that faucet on and imagine a steady stream of liquid white light comes falling down to the top of your head. And imagine the crown of your head opens like the top of a glass. And this liquid white light just flushes through your body. And it pushes into every cell and every muscle, every tissue, every bone, every organ. And this liquid white light fills your entire body up, and through the force of this liquid light, it forces all of that toxicity to be squeezed out of the cells and out the bottom of your feet. And imagine all of that flow goes down into the earth to be recycled. So imagine you are getting an universal life force energy shower internally and externally. Notice where some of that liquid white light sort of pools in your body, where it's working harder to push out negativity and old energy. Notice what organs are really absorbing this liquid white light. And anytime your mind drifts away, bring your attention back to this process of inner cleansing. If you have any illnesses or injuries, any physical issues in the body, you can visualize and imagine that liquid white light adding more healing and clearing to those spaces. Imagine that there is energy dripping from the fingertips and the palms of your hands. And throughout this entire meditation, that liquid white light is continuously pouring and flowing through your body, cleansing, moving, gently healing, repairing, bringing your body back into physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual balance. In your mind's eye, begin to imagine that you're walking into an old-fashioned theater. And in this theater, as soon as you open the door, a red carpet is unrolled in front of you. And begin to walk inside. Notice the interior of this theater. Maybe it's a place you've been to before. Maybe it's a completely imaginary theater. Maybe it's a place you've heard of. Look to your left and your right. Notice if there's any paintings or decorations on the wall. Maybe it's old and abandoned. Maybe it's filled with life and light. Imagine yourself walking into the theater. Trying to notice every detail that your mind and eye captures. Imagine yourself going past the box office, walking down to see many doors to open into different theaters, and find yourself gravitating to one particular theater, one door, and walk in and see the big, huge screen in front of you. Notice rows and rows of chairs, the aisles in between them. Maybe this theater is completely empty or filled with people, or neither. And find yourself a seat. And just mentally invite in all loved ones who have passed, all guides, angels, masters, souls of the living. Imagine that you can invite in ancestors, historical figures, sages, literally anyone your mind brings up and thinks of and wants to invite in. Imagine they sit down in a seat. And if the seats are already full, just imagine that the theater has an infinite amount of seats that can be added with every invite. And imagine the energy of the theater begins to get lighter and lighter as it is filled with the hearts and souls of all these incredible, loving humans. Begin to imagine that each energy present in that theater is giving off an auric light around them. Maybe some have more than others, but everyone's auric field has light emanating from them. Notice if there are many different colors of auric light. And begin to imagine that the theater, filled with all of these energies, just gets brighter and brighter, filled with the light and energy of all those present. Imagine your energy field gets brighter and brighter just by being in the presence of all this energy. Begin to imagine that your body fills with this light and your heart chakra grows exponentially. So your heart energy is radiating pure light all around you. And all of your best and deepest and most loving, generous, giving, nurturing qualities are amplified through your heart chakra. You're basically having the volume of energy turned up on your goodness, on your greatness. Imagine your auric field grows even brighter and extends even further beyond your body. Imagine your purest loving intentions for all those around you get fulfilled and met. Imagine your desire to serve others, to serve humanity, to radiate love and goodness into the world is just amplified and amplified. And as it meets with the energy of everyone in this theater, it amplifies even more. And imagine the screen begins to light up, and on that screen, you can see the Earth, or a picture of the Earth rotating as if we were in outer space looking in at the Earth. You can see the clouds and the oceans and the land masses on this planet of ours. And begin to zoom into the planet, but also go back in time. And sort of like you're on Google Earth, and begin to zoom in to the location on the planet where you were when you were about 5 years old. And continue to zoom into the home of you when you were about 5 years old. And find yourself in the kitchen or living room area of your 5-year-old home. And bring in a beam of extraordinary white light and love. Move your attention as if you are walking through that home, and bringing a torch like of your light in every room you walk through, every closet door you open. You illuminate the home, you illuminate the space. Walk through the home, having flashbacks of memories, but we don't get sucked into the memory at this time. Instead, we're bringing light. Bringing light into the corners of every room, every closet, every drawer, into the frames of every window and the frames of every door. And allow the energy of your family that lived there and with you at that time. You can pass through each room and imagine a family member residing in each room, and send them light, send them love, send them positive white light energy, and bring it into every area of your home. And find your bedroom or your bed where you slept. And imagine your 5-year-old self is playing. Sit down next to your 5-year-old self. And while your 5-year-old self acknowledges your energy, he or she continues to play or do as whatever they are doing. And just sit back in observation of your 5-year-old self with admiration and love. And energetically, meaning without having to speak, just telepathically or energetically, just send the message to your 5-year-old self. What a good human you turn out to be. And how proud you are of your 5-year-old self and all the selves that are coming after, year after year after year. Move through that house once again, energetically infusing it with any color along the rainbow spectrum that you feel is needed or wanted in the home, anywhere from red all the way to white light. Offer as many colors and variations of energy and frequency into the home. Move into a room that has a mirror, whether it's the bathroom or bedroom. Maybe there was a mirror in the hall. And go and stand in front of that mirror and see your today-year-old self in front of that mirror. And recognize that this home represents your energetic past. See yourself in the mirror as your today-year-old self, energetic present. In other words, feel how you feel today. And imagine your awareness quickly and abruptly zooms out as if you're Google Earth again, and we are zooming out, hovering high above, seeing the Earth spin on its axis. Imagine yourself floating above the Earth. As you're floating above the Earth, notice there are no energetic feelings, just the state of being as you hover over the Earth. You hear the quiet of space. Yourself drift and just be in this state. Imagine that an energy, sort of comet, goes by, and you can catch a ride on this energy beam or comet. You are floating in space, and now you are riding on this light beam through space. Let the energy shift and change from peaceful and calm to exhilarating. Imagine the light beam stops into the future. It could be weeks, months, or years into the future, and find yourself on vacation in a place that you've always wanted to go. This is your future self. Notice the location of wherever you are. You can look around and you're not certain where you are. Let your mind tell you, describe and tell you where on this planet you are. Notice yourself having this trip with others you care about. Imagine this being a trip that you've always dreamed of. Maybe you've been there before, but in the future you're there with all the provisions and all of the experiences you want to have. If you're envisioning more than one trip, you can go to both. Anywhere you want to go and anything you want to do on this trip, feel the desire of a thought and then see and imagine yourself doing just that. And notice the feeling you have on this trip. And this is your energetic future. And hold that energetic feeling. And review the energetic past feeling you had in your home at 5. Review the energetic feeling you had in the today, your old self. Review the energetic feeling you have in the future self. Don't judge or criticize any one of them, just notice and observe. And find yourself zoomed right back into Earth, into the theater, surrounded by the energies that were placed in the beginning. Imagine the entire theater looking at the Earth spinning on its axis. And imagine all love and energy and healing going to all the places of the planet that need it. Energetically continue to feel lifted and taking in the energy of everyone present in the theater. And imagine the theater changes right before your eyes to be the room you're sitting in right now. And before you open your eyes, continue to feel the same vibration, the same light, the same energy that was in the theater, still present with you in your room right now. And begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Begin to stretch and twist and turn, holding on to the details of the meditation or whatever you can recall. When you're ready, and only when you're ready, you can open your eyes. And turn on the lights or your camera. Just a reminder, you can log off at any time, but I always feel like this part is the most important part of sharing. But you can log off whenever you need. And then when you share tonight, I'd like for you to either hone in on either one aspect of that was impactful for you, or you had a like, wow, response to, or I'm curious to know the energetic feelings of your past self, your present self, and the future self. So those are what I'm most, not most, but those are what I'm curious about, and or whatever else is jumping out at you when you share. Does anyone want to share first? David knows what I'm going to say next. Bueller, Bueller, yes, Michelle, go ahead.
That was my best meditation ever.
Yay.
In terms of how I felt energetically. That was like the most intense for me. And I loved so many things about it. It was really fun drawing people in, and I was trying not to get too practical in it, but I'm like, I was thinking, my mom, and then I'm like, Amelia Earhart, come on in. I was just like, it was fun. But the most impactful thing for me was when I was in the present day, but in like my old house. I felt very confined, and I felt like my energy was very small, like almost like I thought I saw a border of energy around me. And it has a lot to do with, I think, that house being someone else's house now, that it's like there's a tense situation there. But then when I was my future self, there was no confining, there was no confinement. So the biggest thing I took away was I'm not confined by my past.
Oh.
Like I don't have to limit my energy within a certain. Big night for me here. Me and Amelia. Yeah.
Yeah. And talk about a woman who is not confined.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Wow. Oh my God, I love that.
It was very intense and I felt it in a good, really effective session for me. So thank you.
I love it. And just to throw in on that, um, succinctly, the way we feel is what creates our environment. And so we could feel, most of us are feeling unconsciously how we felt as kids. So we keep creating lives out of the child consciousness, which could be a good thing or not. But that leads us to the present state. And then the present state, if you can think of a feeling that's bigger than you in the now, and anytime you're feeling confined or stressed or drained or whatever it is for each person in here in the present, if you can jump to a feeling that's greater than the feeling you feel now, aka the future self in this meditation, that's what you're telling your present self to expand towards. And you know this, but I want to bookend it with like, that's real. That's a real thing. So we're quite literally energetically creating our future in the now, energetically. So anytime we're feeling ugh, we could either feel the yuck or we can choose a feeling greater than the now and move towards that, which means we will create that right now. And it seems like you kind of know that already, like you've got that, like you could feel that.
I felt it and I really liked it. So it was fun.
I love it. And I love Amelia Earhart.
I know.
She's pretty badass, right? That woman. My goodness. That's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Who else wants to share? That was also 40 minutes long. I don't know if it felt long or short. It felt kind of short to me, but not to you, Joan. It was long. It felt kind of short, but 40 minutes is not short. So does anyone else want to share? Anne Margaret, go ahead.
Hi everyone. So very emotional again. You're killing me with these little things over here, Deborah. Um, so you say 5 years old,
I thought of you instantly.
and I was, of course, that's when my dad, passed and took his life, and it was ironic because we started out with the movie theater. So my movie theater had like, the red velvet walls and seats and like the balconies and everything. And then you go back to the childhood home and the apartment that we lived in. God bless my mother. We had like red velvet wallpaper, you know so it was like, wow.
Wow.
And what the whole entire thing was, it was my dad. Because when you said about the movie theater, of course, I had everybody from my family here, and that's 90% of them are passed. So I had them all, and of course my dad and his family that I never even met, and his cousins and brothers and sisters, and it was amazing.
Mm,
And then, like, the place that you say in your future self that you want to go is Croatia. So
wow.
my sister and I are planning a trip to Croatia. Again, my dad, to meet some of his family, and so walk into the house he was born in and grew up in, and walk down the road he walked down.
Wow.
It was just a very, 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 very emotional And it's so ironic that you mentioned like the apartment growing up or place you grew up in, because today I had Reiki and it was just I'm an emotional mess today. And on my way home, I was thinking about like, just some things about like growing up and my fickleness and like everything in my brain, and this just like really just brought that to a close now. And
Mm,
wow.
mm.
And I was gonna miss this because I was so exhausted, but I had text you and I'm hoping to make it. And like every time I do that, I'm like, oh my God, I have to make it. It's always like so wonderful. Oh my God, what am I gonna miss? Oh God, I can't miss it. But once again, Deborah, thank you so much.
Wow, that's amazing. I thought of you instantly when I heard myself say 5-year-old self. Me, Debbie, was like, no, 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 don't do that. Don't do that. Don't go there. And and again, this is another, I mean, I've done this for 20 years, but I still always think that I am in charge of what I say and where we go. And tonight, my real intention, I didn't want to bring it up in the Dharma talk because I didn't want to start heavy, but I'm so upset about this Israel
Oh,
situation. I'm really, really, really like,
so
I'm
awful.
not normally plugged into news and I can't stop, but I didn't want to start the night on that. So then I thought, you know what? We're going to do a world healing and we're going to send energy throughout the whole world. And that's not what this was at all. And I was like, what do you mean we're going to where we were at 5? No, 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 no. The world needs healing. And it was like, we're going to our 5-year-old homes. Here we go. And then I thought of you and I thought, oh no, I thought this was going to be like a night where we give all this healing, but we're giving it to ourselves so that we can extend it outward to wherever that lands.
So funny because when I was with Deborah, I for some reason thought she was of the Jewish faith, and I asked her if she had family in Israel, and that just set the tone for the whole Reiki thing. And
Yeah.
just praying, praying, praying for those people and everywhere, honestly.
Yeah. Yep. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm glad this was a good bookend
Yeah.
for your day. Michelle, go ahead. Oh. Oh, good night. Gotcha. Is anyone else who, yeah, Leanne, go ahead.
So I had a very emotional experience as well, but it was funny because coming in, it was like I was on the same wavelength as you. Like I write down my, intentions, and it was like lessen your anxiety by healing the inner child. That was the first thing I wrote. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I should just say things that I'm grateful for. So I wrote all the things I was grateful for on the other side. So it like lined right up.
Wow.
When you talked about, going to a movie theater, my first experience with anxiety or panic in general was at a movie theater. So it was hard for me. I was trying to picture a movie theater that I couldn't, didn't really know about, and tried to make it very beautiful. And then my mind just kept reverting back to the movie theater I was in. But the minute that you had the people from the past flood in, it no longer mattered. Like it could be the same movie theater I had my first panic attack. It could be, it could be anywhere. I could be on the 20th floor. I could be on the 100th floor. But all of those people, it didn't matter that I was in that movie theater. It was like it was just not even a thought in my mind, where I would always like until this day harp like, oh, movie theater, you know.
Wow.
It kind of made that moment less scary, kind of pulled the fear out of it, and put in such a nice, like, light, like that white light, like just made the biggest difference there.
Wow.
And
That's
that's like, I just kept popping back to it. Like I would try to go on my vacations, but I'd pop back because it was just so, I wanted to be there. And in the beginning, I was like, oh, movie theater.
oh no, Deborah, no theaters. Wow.
Yeah.
Do you remember who was in there?
Yes, it was all the people I love now, and they just kept filling up. Like, you know, people that have passed, friends, family, friends of family. You know, I keep all mass cards because I love them. I think it's a part of people after they go. And you know, I'm like in my head going through them and I'm like, oh yeah, they're in, they're in, they're in. Like it was like a nightclub and you're in. And um it was just so much love. That was the only thing I could really like, just all heart was in there. So much love.
Hmm.
It just took away any fear that you had because you were so surrounded by love and support.
I love that. That's a good visual for you to use the next time anxiety is mounting too, of like, oh, just in my mind, go to that light, the light of that theater.
Yeah,
Or
no, it was such a difference. Such a difference.
wow,
Because
very
it's a traumatic memory. So now it's actually a really nice memory. It changed.
I love that. Do you avoid theaters, movie theaters to this day or?
Oh yeah, no, I started out at an outside theater in this whole thing. I'm like, going to an outside theater, I'm not playing this game. Um, but yes, I still avoid them. Will go to them, but it's not like my first want. But maybe I'll try again and see what this could do. Like
Yeah,
this changes.
that's pretty cool. That's amazing. Or even just keep replaying it in your mind for a while, just to keep reinforcing the mind body.
Yeah, no, definitely. Thank you.
Cool. Thank you. Who else wants to share? Let's see. Jill, do you want to? California Jill, do you want to share?
Sure. I was struck by someone else said it too, how cramped and closed in my 5-year-old home was.
Mm.
Um, and the energy was all grayish brown. And when I stood at the mirror and looked at myself, I was, flaming orange hair and flaming thoughts and feelings and experiences, trying to light up the place a little bit. Which, I think I have. My future was just like me in the present. I was in Kauai and just doing all the things I'm ready to do there. And it was me. It was me just continuing to experience beauty.
Ah, amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Oh, I
I
can't.
also had the theater just light up like white light everywhere because of the people kept streaming in. Friends who'd passed, then family, then beloved cats, then FDR came in, and a few
Mm,
other like eminent people were there, just, and the light was just almost blinding, but in a good way.
wow, cool.
Mm.
Were they all white? Were there different colors of energies, or were they all white, or do they combine to create
It
white?
was white. It was all kinds of white light and everything. Yeah, white took on a new sort of depth for me.
Amazing. I love it. This is fun. Thank you. Let's see, Christine, how about you? I'm curious. My mind keeps going into you.
Um, well, my 5-year-old house was kind of funny because we were only in that house for a couple of years, so I didn't remember the actual layout of it. But when I first got there, I was in the dining room, and it was the 70s, so we had that big wooden fork and spoon on the wall, and that
Oh
popped up. I'm like, oh, that's the 70s.
my God.
And then the So, and then telling my 5-year-old self that, you know, all this shit you're going to go through is worth it to get to this point. And then in the future, my mom and I had decided a few months ago, we were trying to go to Italy before I retire. And it's hard for me to take time off. So I only have 2 years after this. So we decided that we're going to go to Italy in 2026. So when I went to the future, it was Italy. And since we're going to go for more than just 2 weeks, we're going to do Spain. And then I felt bad. I'm like, ooh, I should probably do a trip that I want to do with my husband. And then you were like, if you're thinking of 2 trips, you can think about both of them. So I was like, okay, good. Cause I want to go to Scotland and Ireland with him because I've been and he's never been overseas. But because right when I was thinking, ooh, I should have like probably put JD in there too. You're like, go ahead and do 2 trips. So my future self is ready to go on a couple of big trips. Another one with my mom, and then JD, I want to go to Scotland and Ireland and show him. I've been to Scotland a couple of times, and
Wow.
so yeah,
Amazing.
but the fork and the spoon on the wall just made me kind of chuckle because I couldn't remember the layout of the 3 bedrooms, like where exactly my parents' room and my brother's room and my room were. But I remember playing in my room, but I don't remember the layout. But I definitely remember the dining room with that round, ugly table and the fork and spoon on the wall.
How
And
many of you, show of hands, had the fork and spoon in their house? I had it too, which I completely forgot about until you just said it.
yeah,
That's now I wish I had a photo of it. That's pretty hysterical that you just said that. Amazing. Oh, who else? Laura, I think I saw you raise your hand before. No, no. If you have nothing to share, that's okay. Or you can.
I'll just hi. I
Hi.
haven't been here 2 weeks, so it feels like forever. Um, I didn't have any big great epiphanies. The one thing I noticed is that in all of the times that the places that I went, I had a sense of, okay, I've been here and I've healed here. Like I
Mm.
felt like I was going back and kind of checking in onto those younger places. And it was like, okay, yeah, no, this is good. This work I've done before is already, it's here. So it was, I had a sense of that. I think the thing that stood out to me the most that was fun was, I experienced like other senses. So we went to the theater, I could smell popcorn in my mouth. I was salivating. And then like, when we were pulling back, I got a little lightheaded. And so it was weird to have what felt like physical. I mean, don't know if it was actually, I don't know, but it was cool to have a different sense going on. Because it just, I don't know, brought me to that moment. I think that's really my future thing was Costa Rica, which is definitely, I love Costa Rica. So that, and it was just a sense of strength and calm and having I don't know, just there's this image I just keep, it's on the coast actually that I always see. But
Amazing.
I don't know, it was all very clear and positive and calm and good, historically and future. So that was all awesome.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's a good totality. Oh my gosh, Jill, there's the fork and spoon.
Wait,
Hold that up. That is so hysterical. That is so crazy. Did you have that, Jill, in your house too, or no? And Christine, where were you raised again? I think
in Saratoga.
Saratoga. Okay. I
Yeah.
was wondering if it was like a city thing, because and Margaret, you were in Queens, right? Bronx. Okay.
I think it's an era thing.
It wasn't
I think it's a 70s thing.
okay.
I didn't have it, but my babysitter did, so I knew exactly also. So
That's so
And
funny.
the round table too, Christine, like the round brown table to match the wooden brown. Oh God.
It's funny. Oh my goodness. Our kids in the future are gonna be like, I don't know, everything was gray. Everything was gray in our homes. Because now it's gray. Oh, we're entering into green. Green is the new color coming in, which is a good one. It's a heart energy. Anyone else? Anyone else want to share? Yeah, go ahead, Jean. I'll call you Jean.
It's funny that you said that
Oh,
because my 5-year-old self was pre all of that. And I was like very carefree and the spoiled little girl by all my siblings. And I remember thinking how grateful that I was to see that
mm.
going through. But we didn't have fork and spoons. I think Jill's right. I think it's an era thing, 70s, because I had the Last Supper hanging in our dining area. So, but I think my theater, I had Abraham Lincoln. Somebody said they had FDR, but I had Abraham Lincoln show up.
I did too.
Like, you what?
I did too. I
Did
had you too, Jill, huh? Wow, cool.
Yeah. And what was it, past, present self? I saw myself now, but I remember telling myself it's worth every bit of loss that you go through. So don't sweat it. Don't sweat it. My future self went to Italy with you. And I was singing in the Sistine Chapel. That's what I want to do. I want to sing in the Sistine Chapel. I want to hear that reverb and echo off the wall. But yeah, but I lost you in some of the parts too. I was somewhere. I don't know where I was.
Wow, that's cool. I flashed to Italy too, actually.
Did you
Yep.
Wow.
get there?
Yep. That is a
Costa Rica did not make it though, just so you know. It was Italy, straight to Italy.
It's funny, as I went to Italy too, and then it wasn't resonating with me, Italy. I was like, yeah, that's what I
Yeah,
was
been there, done
kinda
that.
like, yeah, it was kind of like, I like that. Where would I want to be? And I kept trying to put myself into an African safari, and I was there for a minute, and then I went to Taiwan or Thailand for the elephants. And then I had a really cool experience with an elephant. I'm like, oh, I love this. Oh my gosh. And then all of a sudden I went right into Costa Rica. Right to Costa Rica. And I
Your
was like,
happy place. That's your happy place.
I wasn't even trying to go though. I was like, where have I not been? Let me go there. And then I got and I felt like, here we are. But I don't know where in Costa Rica I was. I don't even remember like seeing. I don't know. Anyway, so cool.
Jen just sent me the cutest little video of Billy saying, thank you, I had such a good time. It's the cutest little thing. Oh my God, my heart was so happy.
That was pretty amazing. That you did.
Yeah, it was very cool.
You
Very
made 3 little kids super, super happy.
My thing was, it all started wanting to send candy to Mia. And her brother is so allergic. So I said, how stupid. 6 months went by me trying to find candy that would not have a reaction on him. And I could have got tickets to Hershey Park.
And they
How
had,
simple was that?
they had a great weekend though.
They
She
did
sent me
have a
picture
great
of the
weekend.
3 of them walking, holding hands.
Mhm.
Oh, so
Yeah.
cute.
And we had a good time. We got together Sunday too, by the way, Sharon and Kelly C. And Christine, we thought of you too late and I apologize for that. But yeah, it was a nice time.
We'll have
Kelly
to.
never been to your center.
I know. That's right. Wow. Huh.
Michelle
Wow.
Taylor was there too.
Wow. And
Yeah.
where'd you say? Oh, at the
Fun time.
Alexis Diner.
Alexis, yeah, we went to the diner by the center.
Wow. See, I love that. I love hearing community. Like it's the tribe.
Yeah,
I just absolutely love that connection
yeah,
amongst that.
we had a great time. And we missed you though.
I
Could have
was
been there, but that's okay.
taking my finals and
Your finals.
yes, yep. I did
Right.
well. Did well. All right, who else wants to share? Go ahead, Ken. Thanks, Joan.
The only place I want to be is on a tropical beach somewhere because it's my safe place.
Mm-hmm.
Away from everything else. It's just away from the real world or whatever. Or it is the real world, but it's my safe place. That's the only place I want to be. I love the concept of going or just being white light and going into that movie theater with your guides and all the souls that have passed and all the love that's in the room. I mean, I think we could visit that place every day
Mhm.
and it's there. We just have to go and let ourselves in because it's all there. I love that. Just love that. And then I love the end taking that just back to the room that you're in because it's what you want to do. You want to take all that love and all that guidance and all that's there and bring it back with you and almost become part of it each day. So I just love that. I think that's the greatest concept
Hmm.
ever, where you just walk in there in the theater and they're all there. Everybody's there and you can talk and your guides are there and you have the wisdom of what's there and then you take it back with you. That's wonderful.
Yeah,
Now,
that's an exercise of presence, actually, like in here now presence,
mhm.
is that we forget when we're being human and doing our day-to-day whatever, we forget that we don't have to have this grand, amazing epiphany to realize that we could be, wait a minute, we're always sort of in that white light space. It's just really where we place our attention.
Always in that white light. And those people that's all that are in that theater, they're all with us.
Right.
They're all with us every day. They walk every step with us. And it's something we don't realize enough. Is that you're never alone. They're always there, just walking through life with us, guiding us through. And it's just a matter of opening up and getting close to that, to let it in every day.
Did you go to your 5-year-old self house, and what was the feeling? And if you did, what was the feeling there, the feeling in the present, and feeling in the future?
Well, the feeling of the 5-year-old self, that's a great feeling because my 5-year-old self was just having a good time and having fun, just not realizing the reality that's coming.
Mhm.
You're just a kid, and then with the present, it's different because now you've lived a lot of stuff, and that innocence isn't there anymore. And I almost want to tell the 5-year-old, just enjoy it where you are. Don't go up, just stay where you are, and just stay that way. The future, I have no clue.
Mhm.
I can go into the future a little bit, but I sort of have no clue. I don't know. All I know is, um, I don't worry about bad stuff happening anymore. I don't worry about any of it anymore. Because at the end we're going to be in a happy place anyway, and it's all going to work out. I just think stuff works out. And again, it's using those people in the room to help us get through it. But if you honestly asked me if I knew what was going to happen tomorrow or the next day or the next day, I don't know. I know it's not going to get easy, and it'll probably get more and more difficult at the end. But I don't know, just looking forward to it. But I try not to think about it anymore because I truly, honestly don't know.
Yep.
I mean, I do know I have some ideas, but I don't know really. You know,
So whatever you are feeling in the right now, though, is the energetic possibility of the future. Well,
yes, yes,
yeah. So we don't
yeah.
know the details, but we can place
No,
the
I
yeah.
believe that. I believe there's a lot of energy, a lot of possibilities, a lot of things to do. I was driving with a friend and we almost went to a stop sign. And he got all excited. You're going to stop the stop sign. I just looked at him and I said, listen, we got too much left to do here on Earth. Don't worry about it. We'll be okay.
Oh, Jesus. We still got to stop at stop signs.
I know. But I'm just saying, things,
Because you also don't want to be the cause for someone else to leave the
things are
planet.
gonna be okay.
Yeah. Thanks, Sharon.
That was my thought with that. Don't worry, we're all right.
Yep.
we made it through. Things are gonna be okay. And they'll be fine. We have stuff to do. He's a pastor of a big church in New Jersey.
Oh,
and-
I did see your Facebook page. Yeah.
Yeah, Parsippany. And I just said, you got stuff they gotta do yet. They're not gonna let you go yet. You don't have to worry. But I don't, that's just the crazy thing with the future, is how much you don't know, but how much faith you have to have.
Mm-hmm.
And have faith that it could be good and it could be bad, as you don't know. But you'll be guided through it no matter how it is.
Right.
And that's where the faith comes through. You know, that no matter what it is, they're going to be guided through it and believe that.
Yep. Yep. Or not, but we're gonna go through it either way. So
We have no choice, and it's not going to end well, no matter what. It's not
oh,
going
it
to
ended
end,
beautifully. The best part is the ending.
you know, it's not going to end well, and then it ends great, right? It doesn't end good, and then it's great.
There you go.
So, you know, just it's just that feeling that the more you get yourself into spirit and you live in spirit and live in that white light world, the better the future is going to be. I believe that.
There
The
you go.
better the future will be, the more you believe, the more you're in that white light, and the more you're in that space.
Vibration. Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else feel they need
Well,
to?
I have to tell you something really quick, 30 seconds. You did a reading for me and you told me that there was a light that was going to go out in my house. And it was not a light, that was not spirit playing games with me, it was a real light. And when my friend was here, he came out of his room where he was and he handed me a light bulb. And he said, this light just went out in the ceiling fan. You have to get a new light bulb. And the light bulb was dead. So I just wanted you to know you were exactly right.
Thank you. I feel like
It
that's
blew
so
me away.
nothing.
Blew me away. He came out and handed me the light bulb and said, this light just burnt out up in the ceiling. And I just looked and I started to laugh. Because you
I
had
feel like, did I also say, is there a sink in your kitchen? I feel like that sounds so like vague, but I get it. I get what you're saying. I don't
there was a
remember the
light in the
context.
ceiling, you know, and I was looking to see if there were any lights that were working, that were out, and there weren't any. So I said, well, maybe one's gonna go out. And then he walks out with the light and he says, this was from your ceiling fan. The light just went out. You gotta replace the bulb. I said, well, I knew that was coming. I just had to tell you that.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. I wish I had some more accuracy on Lotto last night at $1.5 billion, but whatever. Sharon, you were raising your hand, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Happy.
I did.
Thank you.
Hi, everybody. You made me laugh. I wasn't going to share because I'm fucking traumatized. Okay. I'm traumatized between the war and then the 5-year-old self. I mean, that was the beginning of the dysfunction function. So my brain went, I don't know, in like a million different directions. I don't know where I ended up. I don't know. It's been a very traumatizing week, and that kind of just, but I think it was like a good release. I think I needed to get a lot of this shit out of my body. I mean, between the kidnapping of that little girl that started last week, I was totally traumatized by that. That was way too close to home. It was right where our Christian, my new favorite person, lives.
Yeah.
I had an incident in my neighborhood on Monday night where I had the entire Poughkeepsie Police Department shut down my neighborhood, and I had cops around my house for about 5 hours because an idiot in my neighborhood decided to shoot a gun off in his house. So, you know, perks of living in the hood, unfortunately. But, you know, when it's so close to home, these things are so traumatizing. So I'm a little, as you can tell,
Mhm.
but you did make me laugh. So between the weird meditation, the release at the end, the laughter that came along with it, I really felt I kind of needed to share some of the trauma before we ended tonight.
I'm glad you did. It's like shaking it off.
Yes, I just need a blah,
Yeah.
blah, you know, and it's just, you know, I've been through a lot of this stuff. I'm old. I know the wooden spoons, you know, I mean, come on now. I remember the red velvet, you know, my old theaters, you know, don't exist anymore. So I know all this crazy stuff, but it's like, yuck, 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 yuck. So Thank you all for being here tonight. You really made me feel a lot better, even though I'm traumatized. Oh,
Like, yeah, I know. As soon as I heard 5-year-old self, I'm like, oh,
oh
God,
yeah, yay.
not in the mood
What
for
did
my
I do?
childhood stuff.
Yeah, but it's all good, you
It
know.
is
It's
all
all,
good.
we'll be okay. And it was so great. I'm glad Joan mentioned that we all got to see each other last week. It was really nice to be like right up the street from the center, and you know, it was great. So
Oh, I love that visual too. The
yeah.
laughter must have been ridiculous.
Oh my goodness gracious. Good
We
stuff.
maybe we should make it a seasonal thing.
Definitely monthly, maybe.
Yes.
I told you Kelly's idea. I don't know if she's sleeping there on camera, but
I'm here.
She is.
we said we need to do a fall thing, Deborah. So
That was
Yeah.
the fall. You mean like a Christmas thing?
yeah, Christmas or speak
Yeah.
up, Kelly. We can't hear you.
She's hiding.
It
Thank
was
you,
just a
everyone.
light suggestion. I don't know where everybody is on the map, so I don't know. I just thought it would be nice because you kind of take over summer. So maybe if we just take it
Took
upon
over the-
ourselves to do like a tribe
Yep.
holiday party or something. I don't know.
That would be
I
fun.
think it's
Just
a
an
great
idea.
That would be a good idea.
Yeah.
I really do like that, a regular meeting of some sort.
Just to laugh.
Sure. And soon I will be, it's not a center, but I will be doing in-person meditations in Poughkeepsie soon. So there'll be that in a salt cave, which is an added coolness. So Sharon, you know where it is. So working on that. When will that be? I don't know, but working out the details. So there will be some in-person stuff coming
It's
back.
not the cave we went to, is it?
Oh God, no. No, but that would be a real kick-ass cool place to do a meditation.
Meditation. It probably would.
Yeah, that would.
Oh my gosh, that's
Years
crazy.
and years ago, Joan and I and Greg and my friend Kristen, we went to this beautiful musical thing that actually Deborah Sheaf was a part of, Anne Margaret. It was a beautiful setting, and my friend Kristen and I had a really bad case of bad giggles,
Giggles, hard giggles.
hard giggles,
Stop giggles.
nonstop, like snorting to yourself, quiet, and many people in a dark cave with beautiful candles lighting the path. But the caves, it's real caves, so it was dripping, you know, and just serene, so like just angelic, gorgeous music, and we just lost it. Just one of those lost it situations. And then I'm like, oh my God, people know Deborah here, can't pull it together. I felt like I was being disrespectful and I couldn't stop. That made me laugh even harder. And then at the end, everyone got to share their feelings about this. It was a great concert. The music was great. It was beautiful. And then one man got up and like you're able to share, oh, that moved me when this happened, you know, share. And a man got up like 2 rows in front of us, right? And he put his hands like this. That's when we all knew it was over. And he just yelled out, hearts in hands. And we lost it so badly because we were
Loudly.
like, what?
You
We're like,
lost
what does
it
that even
loudly.
mean? It was terrible. It was terrible, but it was so fun.
It was fun.
Kind of like David and I getting the giggles on Monday night. We had a little situation similar, different, but just inappropriate laughter. And then hearts and hands is still a thing between Greg and I. If we don't get something or something's happening, he'll literally go hearts in hands and I laugh all over again. Or if it's like a very like, you know, when they say crunchy granola, you know how, I mean, you know how like you can be spiritual, but you could take it to like a really far degree and you're like way out there and there's nothing wrong with that. But there's also, I'm very much loving to be a grounded human. Like grounded in my spirituality, not like off the planet. And so every once in a while, when we have an off the planet spiritual experience, he'll go, hearts in hands. And I just lose it. It's just gone every time. So I still apologize to you, June. It was one of those.
He can't take her anywhere, Joan.
She did text me multiple times on my ride home. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
And we're never allowed to sit together, ever.
Never.
Never.
Actually, Sharon, I'm never going anywhere with you that we could possibly
No,
get.
even when I go see her and live in person, just if anybody's ever gone, I always make sure I sit in the back and I sit quietly, and I try not to really let her see me unless she catches me, because it's ridiculous. Michelle, I'm not allowed to sit next to her in public either. No.
No,
Bad. It's bad.
just terrible. And David, you too. David's now a part of the Giggle Club. I'm telling you that right now. David and I attended something on Monday night and we wanted to leave, but you couldn't. So I turned to David. I'm like, should we go? Like, I didn't even move my mouth. And then he turned to me and he did the whole, I want to too, but it's not, we can't. And I'm like, oh, this guy's got it. Like, he knows, like, we can't make this obvious. We were in the front row. And then we were like, we gotta go because it's gonna end badly.
Yeah, we did make our escape at a quiet time. Just went, okay, thank you. Yes, it was one of the friends that I visited said, so was it crunchy? Were there crunchy people? And I immediately knew. I just went, well, yeah, a lot of crunch.
There's a lot of crunch at Omega.
A lot of crunch.
It's a crunchy place.
And fiber. There's a lot of fiber at Omega. I missed my meat so badly. Like, just,
Oh my God.
I have never eaten so many vegetables. I had 2 pieces of bread that, like, bread should not physically be that heavy. Like, I needed a blowtorch to like toast it. It's just
If
like
you
48 grains or something.
so much grain and so many beans and a lot of vegetables. It was, if you go to Omega, you're gonna need to stock up on like bananas and anything that binds you. They do serve an awful lot of fiber. Oh my God.
I'm glad I wasn't in that class then.
Oh my God. I was sitting outside my cabin one afternoon and I see a lady scurry by and I noticed her, but I didn't like hyper focus on her. And then she came out of her cabin like 15 minutes later and she walked to the cabin next to mine and she said to the women, I'm so sorry, but there is way too much fiber here. She so grateful to hear that. Like, I was just sitting quietly on my deck reading a little bit and I'm like, oh, this whole place is having a hard time. But go, definitely go. It's worth it. It's worth it. Oh my God. Just insane. It's crunchy but fibrous. Oh. It's fantastic. Oh God. So were you gonna say something, Joan? No. Oh Lord.
I was going to say, have you told this story to your sons? Because I'm sure they'd appreciate it.
Oh no, because they'll feel free to share anything, you know. I'm not opening that door with them. No way. No way. Not giving them any ammunition. Oh my gosh, hilarious. Fun times, good times. So let's see what else this week. We have Your Intuition Unleashed on Tuesday night. No morning meditation tomorrow. We're going to return on Tuesday morning at 6 a.m. for those of you who are in the morning. There's a gallery, online gallery, October 17th, that you all should have in your portal to attend for free. So that's there if you want to log on. What else? I'm planning a 1-day Reiki workshop. I've been kind of inspired to do a Reiki certification. You get your certification levels 1 and 2 in the morning and level 3 in the afternoon. You could attend all 3 or just the morning or just the afternoon. So that'll be December 9th at a hotel in New Windsor, and Anne Margaret's going to be at that one. So
Deborah, question. When do you plan on having it end? Like, I thought it was 9 o'clock at night.
Not 9 o'clock at night. I'm pretty sure by 5 p.m. I have to remember how long I have the room rented for. I think it's like
Okay.
8 a.m. to like 6 p.m. type of thing. So it would be 5 p.m. that I would have to leave.
Okay.
So that's coming up, and that's all I think I have on the books so far. So everyone have a great night. Thank you for a roller coaster of emotions, of 5-year-old self, of
Yes,
laughter,
thanks
of
for that.
Yes, thank you for sharing your trauma, and thank you for allowing us to share our fibrous ending. So,
That is hilarious.
My eyes are burning. Did you say there was or wasn't going to be meditation tomorrow morning?
there's not.
No.
We're gonna pick up on Tuesday.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Even though I've got sessions bright and early tomorrow at 7 a.m., but no meditation tomorrow, but Tuesday morning at 6 a.m. We'll be back. So everyone have a good night. Don't
Good
forget.
night.
Night, everyone.
Good
Good night, everyone.
night.
I feel
Good
much
night,
better. Thank
everybody.
you.
Good night.
Everybody. Thank you. Good night.
Night, everyone.
Good night.
Night, good night.